Hey folks, Kevin here. Well, it's what's the 4th? January 4th, 2024.
Yep.
We've been having some snow the last few days. We're in Oswego, New York, out in the country. And I haven't snowblowed in a couple of days, but you may be able to see across over there, lots of big limbs down and all.
And more fencing boards.
Yes. Navigate to the Fulton Post Office.
Drive east on Stony Robbie Road for 1.4 miles.
So we've probably had several inches of snow. I don't know how much we've actually had. Everybody's out snow blowing and snow plowing this morning. But let's see how well full self-driving does today. I've got it on chill, and it thinks that the speed limit's 25 miles per hour here. And of course the snow plow with the wing has pushed a lot of the snow off the edge of the road onto the lawn area there. But it's taking things very cautiously right now, 15 miles an hour in what it perceives as a 25 mile an hour zone. You can actually go 40 miles an hour on this road, but I'm just going to let it do what it's going to do here. As far as traction goes, in the deep sludge or in the snow, this has been fantastic so far. Much better than other vehicles I've driven over the years. I'm going to give it a little bit of acceleration here, just to go a little bit faster. Okay, we're up to 25 now. And it's hard to see just where the center line is on the road, but I think it's doing a pretty good job. It's assuming that it's staying in the right lane here, and I think it's doing a pretty good job. There are no markers on this road when it is marked, but some of it's off the shoulder there a little bit, and that's what the wing does with the snowplow. We're going to be getting potentially a couple more feet, isn't that what it said, over the next?
Yeah, about a foot.
A foot to, yeah. In some places they'll get a couple of feet, and places not too far from here have already gotten several feet. But we've been really fortunate. I'm guessing somewhere between, over the last 2.5 days, 2.5 to 3 days, I'm guessing we got somewhere between 5 and 7 inches, something like that. But the winds have been really high. Really pretty much consistent, steady winds, which really makes it feel brutal. And it's in the 20s, 22 was it this morning?
Yeah. And it's going to get colder like Monday and the next couple of days after that, like in the single digits at night at least. Yeah.
And we'll be getting the lake effect bands coming off of Lake Ontario. Sometimes we get them coming off Lake Erie, but these ones look like they're coming off Lake Ontario, coming from the north. And so we'll see. We'll see just how everything works. But so far, I absolutely love full self-driving. I mentioned the other day.
In 1,000 feet, turn right onto State Route 48.
The other day that there were, a small box, probably 8 inches by 12 inches by 8 inches, something like that, laying on its side in the middle of my lane, or about 1/3 of the way
now
on.
Turn right onto State Route 48.
It was in my lane, and trash men were around. Everyone was picking things up, and it navigated beautifully through the whole process. So we're all clear on this side, but it always stops back there at the stop sign and comes to a complete stop, which is unlike what normal humans do, but it's what the National Highway Traffic and Safety require. Now there are areas up in here where we get whiteouts all the time because when they have an open field and our wind's coming out of the west, it creates slick spots. You can see up ahead here, you'll see there's some white snow on the ground and the winds can whip across here. Even if it isn't snowing, if we've had recent light snow and the winds pick up, it can create a zone, 1,000 feet thick that vehicles from both directions will be driving through. And unfortunately, some people will stop when they lose visibility, and other people will assume. You had that experience. You want to tell about your experience?
Yes, that was a long time ago. We were driving the, was it the 1-ton dual wheel that time? So, and it was up here a little ways. Kevin will tell you where it was. And driving along just fine, and then a whiteout because of the pasture. Yep. And I was going slow, but as soon as I got in the whiteout, there was somebody who had stopped, and a person crashed into the stopped one, and then I crashed into that second car. Yep. And sandwiched the one in the middle with the 1-ton truck, and then up past there, and it was right up here coming up, I think, right?
Yep. Right in here.
Here, pasture. Yep. And right past here, everybody was crashed right here, and then right up on the left in the other coming lane was the policeman and the people sitting in the policeman's car, which I thought would have been nice if they had put like a cone or a sign or something if they knew that there was people couldn't see coming from the north, and and hit that. So our big truck with the dual wheels fared very nicely.
Yeah, it didn't really affect it, and we were going very slow where you were going very slow, but one courtesy and safety thing to do is to really make sure all of your lights are very visible, very clear. If for any reason you're slowing down significantly, slower than the speed zone, get those 4-way flashers going. Just really important. Now this is a 25 mile an hour turn here that's known as, so we'll see. And full self-driving is doing everything right now. And it's going through at about 31, but the road conditions are good for this speed going through. The other thing that's awesome, we're going through, our roads here are lots of potholes. And with these big tires on the Cybertruck, these 30-inch tires, and they're very tall sidewalls, that they really work very nicely with our pothole area around here. Make it much more comfortable and much less of a chance of getting a blowout. So that's important. So there is a bridge that we could go across the river to get to the post office right here, but it's going to take us to the second bridge over here. And it's doing all this autonomously, just using the cameras. Like Waymo and most other autonomous vehicles, they use LiDAR, and with that technology, they can see through whiteouts, they can see through fog, they can see through everything. With the artificial intelligence, with the camera systems, it's getting better and better, and Elon believes 100% that it'll work as good as what people do. But people get in accidents when there's things like whiteouts. They get in accidents for a whole variety of reasons, but the accidents because of the whiteout, excuse me, is a concern, and I think it's called FLIR, which is another type of imaging that can see through whiteouts, see through fog, that isn't nearly as expensive as LiDAR. I personally would like to have that, but with the model,
1,000 feet, turn left onto West Broadway.
With Thea's Model Y, we have the sonar with it, and all of those were disconnected basically for the full self-driving in the future, and now none of the new Tesla vehicles have anything other than the camera system.
Left onto West Broadway.
It was real interesting how the media played this, but recently at Trump Tower, I think it was in Vegas. Was it Vegas?
Yes.
Yep. That a man in the military who suffered from post-traumatic stress disorder, most likely, decided to end his life. And what he ended up doing was renting a Cybertruck. I'm not sure which version it actually was, either one like this or the Cyber Beast. And
In 500 feet, turn left onto South 1st Street, then turn left.
And drove it from Colorado to ultimately ending up in front of Trump Tower. And
Now turn left onto South
and the
1st
Trumps
Street.
weren't there, and Elon wasn't there, and none of those people were there. But he had lots of explosive materials, fuel cans, like Coleman
Now
fuel
turn left.
as well. So I'm going to take over right here because it doesn't know which drive-in to drive in here at the post office. Should have turned my turn signal on.
Now you have arrived at your destination.
And there is a spot up there. I'll pull up front up here for you, hon.
Oh, good.
I love the steer-by-wire and the the rear wheel steering as well. So Thea's going to go in and drop off a book. We only have one book we're dropping off from the bookstore today at the post office. But one of the things that this person did, he had lots of mortars for fireworks displays and all, and I'm not sure what else, but he had petroleum-based fluids in the back of the Cybertruck, and basically creating a bomb, and he committed suicide at the same time. We're not sure just how he ignited the explosives in the back of the truck, but you know, the amazing thing is the Cybertruck is it contained the explosive shrapnel so that it would all shoot up. The tonneau cover blew up. You could see it in the video, where it blew up into the air, massive explosion. You could see lots of secondary, I'm going to call them secondary explosions as a result of the mortar rounds going off for fireworks display, so it created quite a bit. But it appears that the outside of the Cybertruck, the stainless steel exoskeleton of the truck like this, built like this, contained the explosions from being able to go into and do more damage to the people around it. Because, you know, when you have explosions like that and you have a traditional metal vehicle, it creates lots of shrapnel that would have created lots of damage. And so I think it was like 7 people around that had relatively minor injuries as a result. A couple of them went to the hospital, and maybe all of them went to the hospital, I'm not sure, but they all were discharged within short order. And the battery never caught on fire. One of the things that people, you know, this does get some attention, the Cybertruck, and so the other thing I would say is the tires never went flat, got burnt. It's you know, it's a vehicle that could get repaired and put back on the road from the looks of it. So where there was such an explosive device, so it really, I think it's a salute to the tremendous work that the engineers and designers of the Cybertruck have done. The engineers are just amazing. But one of the questions that I get from people, like people will come up and talk to me. One gentleman came up to me, and he has a 1-ton dual wheel truck as well that he uses, and he said, geez, you know, he says, I really like this, but, you know, I'm really worried, you know, with all the fires that they have. And I just encourage people, if you want to know the truth, because you often hear people, because of the news media, you know, basically promotes misinformation all the time about battery fires. So just Google in 2003. You can see the number of battery fires from vehicles, battery electric vehicles, was 25 out of 100,000, and it was over 1,500 for gasoline, not diesel or any other propane or any of the other ones, but just looking at the difference. And so it's much more common for gasoline vehicles to catch on fire than it is for battery electric vehicles. How'd it go, hon?
Good, it's cold out there.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Okay.
So here are the two side cameras here. Here's the backup camera. And then I've got my rear camera from Hen Show, which is fantastic. Shift it into drive. Navigate home. Now I'm still controlling it right now. Press the button for full self-driving
Now turn right onto West Broadway.
Now full self-driving is driving the vehicle. I'm supervising to make sure everything's okay. One of the things, this firmware, the software update that we got, that we're driving in now is
in 500 feet, turn right onto West 1st Street South.
Is version 13.2.2. And each time, every couple of weeks, we get a new updated version, and there's
now turn right onto West 1st Street South.
So many improvements. And one big improvement that came with this is the smoothness of acceleration and braking more appropriately. So in other words, I would with the prior version, braking. So we'll watch this situation. We got double solid line here. We got people with their four-ways on, and we'll see how this handles this. This is, full self-driving is doing it itself right now, so it's going to wait, I guess. I would have gone around. Oh, this person's going to turn in here. Yeah, it's a cab going to turn in there. We'll see how everything works out.
I'd rather be safe than sorry.
That's right.
Christmas tree.
Yeah. So there was too abrupt of a deceleration in the past in the previous version, where it would, with me, especially when there's snow on the ground and all, and it did fine, but it would brake more aggressively, meaning regenerative braking, not pressing the brakes themselves, but it would be maintaining a higher rate of speed when I could see, oh, the light's turning to red up there and there's a couple cars there. It would lack the same rate of deceleration that I would do. And this version here is doing better. Now we got someone with their shopping cart in the lane there. It's going to go ahead and move right over enough. It was good with the other car coming the other way. Very nice. So I've got, once we get home, I'll go fire up Optimus Maximus and get that warmed up, because I'll do some snow blowing of the main road so that we have everything set for the weather events coming ahead of time here.
Yeah, then you'll probably have to, in 2 days, do it all over again if we get that 6 inches or more.
Yeah, depending on how much we get. So we'll see. Maybe we'll luck out. So far, these last few winters have been very mild winters. Thea was talking to me earlier today about your 4-foot episode. You remember that, hon?
Oh, yes. I was coming home. That's when we worked over at Miller Brewing Company, Container Division. And I was done with my shift. And Kevin was on his shift, I guess.
Yeah, we both worked 12-hour shifts, and I think you were working days and I was working nights. Or?
Yeah, I think so. And what happened was we got out of work at 6 o'clock in the morning, and there was 4 feet of snow in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Now they had plowed the parking lot, and the town had plowed, the city of Fulton and the township had plowed the main road, like this road. And so, but I couldn't get home, so one of the guys with a big truck said, I can get you there. And so we got through the snow and got right up to our road, Stony Robbie Road, went to make a left, and it was 4 feet of snow. They never plowed it because it was a small road, you know?
Yep.
So we had to make a big detour, go around other main roads, and where it was like only half a mile to the house instead of a mile and a half to the house. And he got part way up, and then I walked the rest of the way.
Yeah.
And all. But that was crazy. But we had so much more inches of snow years ago than we have now.
Yeah, snow removal with the front end loader. I might work 6 or 8 hours doing snow removal, and if we had back-to-back storms, it might be 16 hours out of a 48-hour period that I was moving snow and all. And and that was no cab on the tractor, and that was miserable. It was much worse back then because when you use a plow or you use a front end loader, you're often making up banks on each side of the driveway, and with the winds that we have here, everything just gets drifted over into the driveway. So even if it didn't snow, you might deal with 2 foot of snow on one side of the driveway and only 6 inches on the other side because of the drifting potential. So, yeah, I'm glad those days happened when I was younger.
You wouldn't want to do it now.
No, but it'd be much better being in a cab. Oh yeah. A heated cab with a front-mounted snowblower. It just makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah.
So
on that
1,000 feet, turn left onto Stony Robbie Road.
So on that snowy day, we're coming up to our road. So we, my friend in the pickup truck, got through the snow here on the main road. And then he went to turn left.
Now turn left onto Stony Robbie
right
Road.
here, and it was right there. It was a 4-foot wall. Didn't work so well. I think that was one of the worst storms we had here, except for back when you were a kid in '68 or whatever it was.
66. 66 was a real humdinger. We've had some real doozies over the years. So now here we are here. I'm going to be paying much more close attention because we could end up with a tire going off the shoulder here a bit. But it looks pretty good the way that they plowed the road right now. And we're going 33 and a 40. So this isn't bad. I feel comfortable with it. And the snow plowing that they're able to do nowadays is so much better than what it used to be. They have a belly blade, and they have the front blade, and they can deposit the sand and salt mixture at the same time. And they're able to do it better than they used to be able to do it years ago. And when we get the big snows, the big loaders come back and push all the banks, because this is nothing what we're seeing here now. This is. And I'm not looking forward to snow blowing today, and the main reason is the ground isn't frozen enough because we had so much rain recently. We had a lot of rain. If it was cold, we'd have a hell of a lot more snow right now. But we had a lot of rain over a few-day period where the temperature got up above 40 degrees, and the ground is it's muddy. So we were right next to the shoulder of the road right there.
So with it being muddy, it's more difficult to snow blow or kick up stones or...
Well, it creates more well, not only does it, you can actually I have to try and hold the bucket up higher so that, hold the blower up higher so that I'm not sucking in...
1,000 feet, your destination will be on the left.
sucking in the dirt that isn't frozen yet, because as soon as it gets in the blower, it starts to freeze to the surface of everything. And therefore it doesn't move as much snow as quickly as it could. So it doesn't pull down our driveway yet on its own. So I'm going to go ahead and disconnect full self-driving now.
Now your destination is on the left.
So I'm just letting off on the accelerator here. The driveway doesn't look bad at all. But the truck maneuvering in the snow does very, very well. Maneuvering in deep mud does very, very well. And full self-driving now, this 13.22. I'm pretty happy with its performance now. So that's just letting me know that I'm getting close to the things up in front here. So that's it for this video, folks. We hope you enjoyed it. We just thought we'd take you along for a quick ride down to the post office while we drop off a book.
Right, and then get to work.
That's right. All right. Thanks for watching. Stay safe and take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.